All right, folks, listen. First of all, this is a live stream, and you know, I've been telling you guys that on June 11th, Washington State is going to be struck. Okay, it's the biblical beast out of the sea event that's going to happen on June 11th in the state of Washington. Okay, so get out of Washington State before June 11th. And who is the biblical beast out of the sea? It's Elvis. Okay, and in the Bible it says that the beast out of the sea, one of its heads has a deadly head wound that's healed, and the world wonders after his deadly wound that was healed. And what better uh, head than the head of Trump, who compares himself to Elvis? And Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th in Ohio. So June 11th, Washington State gets struck. August 4th, Trump gets his head wound, and he survives his deadly head wound. Okay, I'm not going. In my videos, I explain it all. That's just for anyone who's new, who's watching this. You're not going to understand unless you watch all my live streams. Go to the live section of this channel, okay? And those are my only two predictions that I know for sure is going to happen. Is that on Washington State, on June 11th in Washington State, it's going to be struck. They're going to take a bite out of the Apple State, okay? And and then Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, okay? Because he is the image of the beast, who is Elvis. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about something to do with the barcode. And by the way, I'm not saying that the barcode is going to be the mark of the beast. I'm just saying that it has to do with buying or selling. So something to do, you know, whether it's whether the mark is going to be on the hand and in the hand. So it's most likely going to be on and in, because the Bible says there's some interpretations that say on, and there's some that say in. Right? I believe it's going to be in and on. Okay, and then they say also on the forehead. I don't know, what that's about, but all I'm saying is that there will be some type of mark that you will have to take, okay? And that's why, of course, here on this channel, we know not to take it, not to take the mark, okay? Because we are going to, you know, uh, persevere, I should say, right? Because we want to go to heaven, all right? And we want to be with Jesus in heaven. And so there's not going to be any mark that we're going to worship on this, all the people that know this channel and the people on it, okay? Now, this barcode, like I said, people say that it has a connection to the 666. I'm not 100% on what that's all about, but listen. 666 barcode. Okay, so like I said, I'm not saying it is, but there is claims that it is.
The idea that barcodes contain the number 666 is a false conspiracy theory. Those bars, often mistaken for the number 6, are actually guard bars used for scanning. They have no numerical meaning and are purely functional, serving to help the scanner read the code. The inventor stated...
So let me just show you what they're talking about real quick. So I guess they're saying that every 6, the bars, the tall, the longer bars, there's 2 there, 2 and 2 bars, the longer ones. So you have 6 numbers in between and 6 numbers. I don't know. All I know is it's connected to the 666. Okay, I don't care. There's a bunch of videos on that. All I know is that the fact that it has something to do with buying and selling. And what is this barcode called? Look. What is the proper name for the barcode?
The proper name for the traditional vertical barcode is a one-dimensional linear barcode. The most common type, often found on products, is specifically called the Universal Product Code, or UPC.
UPC, okay, that is what we're talking about here, the UPC, All right, universal product code. And um, and let me just tell you who the inventor of the universal product code is. That way, because I'm telling you guys, Elvis is going to be connected to the mark of the beast somehow. Look, who was the inventor of the universal product code?
George J. Laurer, an electrical engineer at IBM, invented the Universal Product Code, or UPC.
When was the inventor of the UPC, George Laurer, born, and when did he die?
George Laurer, the UPC inventor, was born on September 23, 1925, and he passed away on December 5, 2019.
So first of all, he died at the age of 94, which is my birthday, September 4th. But look, he has that 923 date, which everyone talks about. Anyway, he died on 12/5/2019 at the age of 94. There's George Laurer, okay? Let's look at these dates, okay, real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see which one I'm going to show you first. See, I told you I don't have much, folks. Let's get this one out of the way first. The most simple one. All right. So, I'm telling you that Washington State is going to be short. By the way, this one is nothing compared to what I'm going to show you. So just give me a second. So I told you Washington State is named after George Washington, right? So George Washington's death date is a big deal. So George Washington's death date was 12/14/1799 to the day that this George Laurer died, the barcode guy, the guy who invented it. Look, first of all, there's 11 months, 22 days in between the death of George Washington and the death of this George. Okay, his name is George also. And look at the amount of days. It's 80,345. And I told you that you see these numbers right here? Because I'm telling you, Trump's going to get his head one on 8/4. But let me just tell you what you're seeing there. Wait, the good stuff's coming. So whatever date you pick, like let's say Trump's going to get his head one on 8/4, 8/3 and 8/5 connect to it. Because when you're using the calculator, you can say up to that date, it would be the day before counts and the day after. And if you use including the date, it would be exactly on that date, and then the next day would be a leap year. That's why. So it's like a chain link, you know what I mean? So whatever dates you pick, the day before and the day after link together, okay? That's all. So now when you see this number, this is what you're seeing. 8/4 is the middle link here between the 8, so 8/4, and then the 3 and the 5 linked to the 4. That's all I'm showing, okay? So, and then you have JFK's death date right here, 11/22. That's all I was saying, because Trump's going to get his head one on 8/4. Anyway, so here comes the good stuff. So look at this. From the day that this George Laurer died, the guy who invented the barcode, look at this. From the day he died on 12/5/2019, the guy who created the barcode, look at this. From the day the barcode guy died to 6/11 is 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. Okay? And if you add the day, it's 7 days. Okay? But watch what I'm about to show you. Okay, watch. So if 6/11 has a connection, then of course, let's see what 9/11 has. From 9/11 to his death date. Look at that. Look at that. From the Twin Towers collapse to the day that this guy died, the guy inventor of the UPC code, okay, the Universal Product Code, is 6,660 days exactly if you add the day. Okay, so that means if you add the day to this date, then when you add up the next equation, which is what I was showing you a minute ago, 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. So it would be exactly to this if you didn't add the day. Like I said, if you add the day, it's 6 years, 6 months, 7 days. If you don't add the day, but up to that day, it's 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. So what I'm trying to say is it works out perfectly because when you add the day to this date, the day this guy died from 9/11, is 6,660 days. Exactly when you add it. And then if you don't add the date up to that day, it's 6 years, 6 months, 6 days up to this date. So do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So that I'm just saying, that's why I said this is a short video. And notice he died on 12/5. What is 12/5? I told you that connects to the EL. Elvis. EL means God in Hebrew, right? EL 12 and 5. Get it? He died on 12/5. EL, you know. And I told you guys that Elvis's name, just I forgot to put this. Let me just 1 second. I forgot to. Sorry about that. So Elvis's name, in his name, EL means God in Hebrew. VI in Roman numerals is 6. V is 5, I is 1 in Roman numerals. So VI is 6. So that means the S is saying more than 1. That's all it means. It means sixes. So he's the God of sixes. Do you understand? That's what Elvis is saying. He's the God of sixes. Okay? So that's why seeing what I was just showing you, it's a lot of connections there, with the code guy, and it's the EL connection with the numbers right there, Oh, and you know what? I just realized he it would add up to from George Washington's death date to the day this guy died was 125. I mean, from the day that this George Washington died to this guy's birth in 1925 is 125 years. Get it? 125. By the way, you're seeing everything backwards. This is my right hand. So when I'm showing it to you, you're seeing everything. So look, he died on 12/5. 125. He was 125 years. George Washington had been dead 125 years when this guy was born. And he died, he ended up dying on 12/5. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's another connection. And I forget, there's another connection here. Anyway. Okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to show here. So remember, it's called the Universal Product Code. I just said, I said Universal Product Code is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying that. I just wrote that. Universal Product Code is the mark of the beast. And it added up to 450, right? And if you add Elvis Aaron Presley, you'll get 666. So I mean, I don't know if this is proper, Universal Product Code is the mark of the beast. Elvis Aaron Presley equals 666. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I'm not saying it's going to be the mark of the beast. I'm just, because who knows what they'll come out with, But again, it has the connection to 666, And okay, I hope you guys understood that. Yeah, I just looked this up just yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, I just found this out yesterday. Did you guys understand that or what? Did you guys understand that last part? I don't see anyone commenting, so I don't know if you guys. Are we still here? It's like, what happened? Everybody just stopped commenting all of a sudden. Anyway, so you have all the 666s there. You know. All right, and and of course, I told you that Trump is the image of Elvis, and that Obama's connected to this too, because Obama's birthday is the day that Trump gets his head wound, which he's going to survive, right? And the reason I'm bringing up Obama, because of, like I just said, right? He's Trump's going to get his head wound on Obama's birthday, and you know the barcode is like the Barack, like bar. You get what I'm saying? And you know, Las Vegas is known for slot machines. Nevada's the 36th state, the 666. Elvis was all about Las Vegas. You know what I mean? And I told you I was the first one to discover, okay, back in 2017. All right. Nobody, don't let nobody tell you differently. I was the one who discovered this because I created this type of counting. What I did was I took the ciphers, the four ciphers, the forward and backward, and add them up. So Barack Hussein Obama's name is 666. I was the first one to discover this. And if anyone says differently, they're a liar from the pit of hell. All right, everybody knows that I was the first one to discover this. Okay, this is my calculator that someone specifically made for me. All right. Anyway, so the reason I'm bringing it up, because and of course August 4th. No, I was just showing that it equaled 666 because August 4th is the 6 times 6 times 6 day of the year, which equals 216. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. And guess who equals 216? It's not Barack. It's not Trump. It's Elvis Aaron Presley. He equals 216. That's why it works out so perfectly. Okay? And again, Elvis is playing the part of God in heaven. Trump is playing the part of Jesus, who was God in the flesh. Okay? Do you understand? That's what they're doing. Jesus, who is God, he was God in the flesh. All right? But while Jesus was God in the flesh, God was still in heaven as the Father. And that's why Trump has to get the head wound and rise from the dead. They're mocking God, all right? Because that's why Trump is playing the part of Jesus, God in the flesh. All right? It all has to play out. Just get out of Washington State before June 11th. Anyone who came in late, watch from the beginning. And make sure you guys thumb up the video. I have another video to show, hopefully tomorrow. And that one's just as good as this one. But this one, like I said, I'm not saying that, oh, I forgot to show this. What am I doing? Oh, and by the way, this guy was born in Manhattan, New York. Just like Trump is born in New York. The guy who invented the UPC, the barcode, you know. Man, I almost forgot to show this. So this is what I showed to everybody every time. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. Every time Trump talks about Jesus or posts a picture with him with Jesus, because that's who he's representing. Okay, they want that embedded into your brain. That way, when he rises from the dead, oh, you know, they want you to connect him to Jesus. Okay, you understand? And that's why he looked up into the sky and said, "I am the chosen one." Right? Now look.
Meet Steve.
So I have to be careful how I show this because they say stuff in here that you can't say. So I have to make sure I don't let. Hold on, give me a second. Look at.
And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor? A scientist? Nope. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence virus. This is the cure right here going into mass production.
What I want you to listen to, all right? Let me explain what you're saying here. This is some stupid Inside Edition episode, just some show, like a news show, you know, like a gossip news show. So during the pandemic, this dude comes out and tells his 3 million Instagram viewers or whatever, he had 3 million subscribers to his channel. He tells them he has the cure for the you know what during the pandemic. And so look what they were showing before I show you. Listen. So they're showing you a green background, like emerald green, or because you know Seattle's the emerald city, and also it's the evergreen state, Washington. Okay, and he's holding a needle. I told you the Seattle Space Needle, and I told you the word Space Needle equals fallen angel because Elvis is the fallen angel. Anyway, so he's holding the needle, and listen to what he says, and then see what they show right after they say it, and then I'll show you some more. Listen to what he says.
And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor? A scientist? No. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence. This is the cure right here going into mass production.
Look what they show.
And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor?
Look at that.
A scientist? No. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook is a... And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor?
So they say this is going to change and save the world. Or did he say this is going to save and change the world? I don't know what he said, whatever. But what do? They show Elvis everywhere after they show that. Okay? Do you understand? And they also like show a double neck devil guitar, like Elvis Trump. You see that? And you know, Elvis was born on 1/8 and he had an identical twin. And a guitar looks like a 1 and an 8. And there was 2 of them born, 1 and 8. Get it? 1/8, 1/8. The guitar looks like a 1 and an 8. Okay. And of course you have a third one with the black face. Get it? Like Barack. But anyway, it's all Elvis everywhere. Everywhere Elvis on this guy. Listen to, now let me show you this.
Scientist? No. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook is a... This man is making the unbelievable...
Hold on, I can't play that part. Just give me a second.
Cure right here going into aspirin.
So now look at his hand. Look at the mark on his hand. All right? So he has a mark right there on his hand, and what is next to him? Look at that white image right there. It looks like the image of Elvis. You see? You see it? You see that white image right there? And that's why they keep showing the hand. Why do you think they keep doing that? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Why would they be showing this?
Action. And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor?
And then they show Elvis.
Scientist? No. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook is... And this is going to save and change the world. Is he a doctor? A scientist? No. 53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook is... And this is going to save and change the world.
Oh, man.
Is he a doctor? A scientist?
I'm trying to stop it on the hand moving.
53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook. And this is...
I can't get it to stop.
Change the world.
Stupid! Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys saw it. Okay, and by the way, let's find out where this guy was born and where was Keith Lawrence Middlebrook born and when was he born? Look at this. Barack Obama was born on August 4th in Hawaii. Listen. Speak. Oh, man. When was Keith Lawrence Middlebrook born? He doesn't want to say. Here, I'll just show you. Look, August 4th. See it? And by the way, Elvis equals 67. He's born in 67. The 19th prime is 67. But look, August 4th. So he's born on August 4th in Hawaii. Okay? Did you see that? And Obama's born on August 4th in Hawaii. And HH, Honolulu, Hawaii, is 88. Are you listening? Honolulu, Hawaii is 88, the initials. That's when Trump opens his eyes for the first time. And guess what the area code is? What is the Hawaii area code? Why is it not speaking all of a sudden?
Hawaii uses the area code 808,
There
which
it is.
covers all the islands.
808. So do you understand like what I'm telling you? You know, what is the chances of all this, you know? Because that's what I've been saying all this time. Before I ever knew any of this information. And Elvis was known as the king, right? And Seattle is in King County. Look at this. I forgot what I was going to show. Oh, the first king of Hawaii was King Kamehameha. When is King Kamehameha Day celebrated every year?
King Kamehameha Day is celebrated every year on June 11th in Hawaii. It honors King Kamehameha the Great, who unified the islands. If the date falls on a weekend, the holiday is observed.
See what I mean? Every year, June 11th. So you have a June 11th connection with a king, the main king of that place, the number one, and you have August 4th with and Elvis's favorite vacation place was Hawaii. He did a bunch of movies there too. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I hope you guys understood this, right? And of course, you know, when I mentioned the king, because Elvis was known as the king, Seattle's in King County, and Martin Luther King is now named after Seattle's King County. Seattle's King County is named after Martin Luther King now. And what happened to Martin Luther King? He was supposedly, you know, taken out, and he died in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. Yeah, I appreciate that. And Martin Luther King was, because he's also a king, get it? I mean, the name. He died in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis the King lived and died, and now they named it after Seattle's King County, after Martin Luther King. You see what I mean? It's all connected. You know, there's something going on here, folks. You can't deny what I'm showing you. If you watch my live streams, you'll know that I proved it without a shadow of a doubt. If you look at I just didn't know the year, but this year, because of the Pearl Harbor connection, connecting to August 4th, and because it connected with 6/11 with Elvis to Pearl Harbor, that's why they had to wait till these two combined together, because 6/11 and 8/4 have to combine to make a perfect, you know what I mean. They had to I'm arthritis. Sorry, folks, really bad arthritis I have. It had to connect to each other. That's what they were waiting for, and Pearl Harbor just turned 84. That's what they were waiting for. All right. Okay. Anyway, God bless all of you. And like I said, I could keep going on with the connections, but just remember why I did this video, because of the universal product code connection. All right. And let me one more time show you that. Okay. Let me just show that one more time. I'm not saying it's the mark of the beast, okay? The universal product code, which is the barcode, okay? universal product code is the mark of the beast, and then you add Elvis Aaron Presley, you get 666. I'm not saying that it's the mark of the beast. I'm just saying that look what's showing here. And I showed you that from the day the barcode guy died, George his name is, to the day when Washington State gets struck on June 11th is 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. And from 9/11 to the day this guy died, who created the universal product code, he died on this date. From 9/11, it was 6,660 days when you add the day. And then from this day to 6/11, it's 6 years, 6 months, 6 days when you don't add the day, but up to that day. If you add the day, it'll be 667, which is also connected to Elvis. Okay, because the word twin equals 66 and Elvis equals 67. All right, so it doesn't matter either way. It's a perfect match. Okay, you understand? And you know what I was thinking? What better way, to imagine putting because I was telling you guys that how they might have Elvis as the mark of the beast would be with this connection, right? Real quick, I have to show this for anybody who has eyes to see. There's no way you can deny what I'm showing. If you don't have eyes to see, of course you're blinded by Satan. So this is the furthest west. This is the furthest west of Washington State. This area right here. And this is Seattle right here. And during the pandemic, they were calling this the chop zone, this area. It was called the chop zone. So if they were to strike right here and somehow this gets chopped off, they would be chopping Elvis's head off. See Elvis's head? You can't deny his hair is way up here. Look at it. Look at that. It's like a perfect match. This is his head right here. What is this? Okay, so that's why I said if they could make it like this, being part of it. Okay, now also Elvis. Look, this is Elvis's Graceland. Look, it's got 4 pillars and a pyramid and a light hanging out right here. There's a light right here. So 4 pillars and a pyramid. It's just like the White House. 4 pillars and a pyramid and a light hanging down. And Presley is like president. P-R-E-S, Presley, president. You understand? P-R-E-S. And so what better way? Imagine if they did that. They built a temple, because this looks kind of like a temple. You get what I'm saying? Wouldn't you say that kind of like a temple? So imagine if they put a temple, listen carefully, they put a temple on the hand, on the outside, and then when you scan your hand or whatever scans it, imagine, or if it up here, imagine if it's a temple on the outside, and then when you scan it, inside, it's the image of Elvis. Do you get what I'm saying? And that means that Elvis is in the temple. Do you get it? Because you know how they always say when Elvis leaves the concerts, they say Elvis has left the building. You see what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's because they're telling us that when this is in your body, in the Bible, it says that about that he's standing in the holy place where he shouldn't be, or something like that. I can't remember now the exact words, but that's what I'm saying. That they're saying that it's in your temple, in your body. You know what I mean? But I believe it's going to also be that the Antichrist physically, in real life, he's into the holy place too. Okay, so not only in your spiritual, inside of you, but the Antichrist, Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh, but Elvis is the Antichrist, is the real devil, okay? And Trump, um, when he wakes up from the dead, okay, Elvis is going to enter Trump right when he dies. So Elvis enters Trump. So when Trump wakes up from the dead, he's a walking zombie. He becomes the abomination of desolation. That's why they chose this Obama. Obama, get it? Trump becomes the abomination of desolation. The abomination of desolation. And basically he's a walking zombie. When that walking zombie goes into the Holy Land, for himself king, there you go. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it is. He becomes an abomination. That's what all these zombie movies, they show you. When they come up out of the grave, they go, look, it's an abomination, you know, because he's an empty vessel, Trump, right? And Elvis entered the empty vessel like Satan entered Judas, and Trump is a Judas to all the Christians, and yeah, I can't remember that song. But there's so much, man. Who knows, Oh, and Elvis, Zombieland. You know that movie? The most famous zombie movie would be Zombieland. The whole thing was about Elvis. The movie Zombieland. Go watch Zombieland 1 and 2. It's all about Elvis. Zombieland 1 and 2. All right. Will his head wound shooter be part of the? I don't know what's going to happen to Trump. We'll see how he gets his head wound. And but obviously, yeah, they all have connections. It's all going to be connected to each other. Look, folks, if you were in my shoes trying to figure out how do you explain the unexplainable, do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to explain the unexplainable. Yeah, good comments. Yeah. Anyway, well, they have to let you know that he's the Antichrist in the flesh, this Trump. That's why he's comparing himself to Jesus. They have to let you know. That way you can't say you didn't know. Okay? You can't say that you didn't know. That's why people think that, that it was not going to be, he's going to proclaim himself God. You know what I mean? So obviously you're going to know he's the Antichrist if you're reading the Bible. Do you get what I'm saying? Those guys, there are people out there who know the Bible, so obviously they're going to say that he's the Antichrist. Right? You get what I'm saying, right? I mean, yeah, I've actually looked into RID also. There's a connection there, which I've done in the past. I'll just tell you what it is, just real quick. What I was doing, I think RID, the number had a connection. The forward number was 37, the backward I think was 71. And I was showing what words equal that. There was only a few words that actually equaled that. And what I was saying was that it looks like this. That it looks like the letters ELLI. And Elliott Bay is in Washington State. Okay, so it's ELLI. And then it's got the letters OTT for Elliott Bay. Okay, so it's OTT. Guess what OTT equals? OTT has the same numbers as the word God, but reversed. So God equals 2617, 5510. It's 5510, 2617. You get it? So that's the only thing I know with the RFID connection that I was putting together. And there was something else too. I think RFID equals the word Erie, if I'm not mistaken. ERIE. So I don't know. I've shown, this years ago, so I don't know some of the stuff that I remember on it. Yeah, he's by the way, if you're, for anyone who knows this channel, I call him the fittest flat grifter. That dude has stolen all my Elvis Trump stuff and Satan. Because I was saying that Elvis is the representation of Lucifer and Satan, because Lucifer became Satan, and Trump is the image of Elvis. So obviously he's going to be the image of Lucifer and Satan. And I've been talking about this since 2019, and this dude came around just 2 years ago, steals all my stuff and pretends like it's his. The guy's an absolute thief. And he's not a real Christian because he's getting people away from Jesus. So stay away from this dude named Fittest Flat Earther, whatever his name is. Stay away from that channel because he's a heathen from the pit of hell. Anyone who gets you away from the name of Jesus is a demon, because Jesus is God and his name above all names. Yeah. So anyway, folks. Yeah, his name is Tyler Hansen, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah. God's going to punish him, so I ain't worried about it. Anyway, any last words? I got to end the chat now. Like I said, I don't know what the mark of the beast is going to be. I was just putting this out there because it was a weird coincidence with the 666 stuff. All right. So make sure you guys thumb up the video and leave a comment under the video and let me know if it's worth leaving up this video. Because if it's not, I'm going to delete it. So yeah, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure you comment under the video. All right, folks, last minute, unless you have something important to say. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, God bless all of you. All right. I'm going to end the video now. All right, I'll see you guys in a few hours. I'll come back with another live stream. I might be a little late, so I'm not sure. Either I'm going to come back in 4.5 hours or 5.5 hours. So one of those two, all right? Yeah. All right, folks. God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video.